Well, welcome to QuickBooks Online Recertification 2024. We are so happy that you're here to prepare. In case we haven't met, I'm Jacqueline, and I joined the Pro Advisor team back in November of 2023 to lead training and certification. I deeply believe in the power of education to help us become better versions of ourselves. And it is an absolute joy and honor to get to work in partnership with the incredible Pro Advisor community. So it's so nice to be with you today. All right, so what we'll cover. The recertification exam covers updates to QuickBooks Online features from August of 2023 to mid-March 2024. So about a 12-month window from the last recertification. And we're training you on those changes that are critical to delivering the best possible services to your clients. So we appreciate that you may already be quite familiar with these features. We know that you're amazing users of the product and could already be very familiar with them. So in that case, recertification is an opportunity to formally recognize your expertise. If during the session you need help, go ahead and pop into the chat. There is an entire training team on hand ready to answer your questions, whether that's about the content or if you need more technical help or if you have questions with CPE credits, we're here for you. All right, and speaking of CPE credit, so there will be a few different checkpoints to make sure you're paying attention that'll be pushed out. So these will take the form of polls. So please do answer at least 3 polls to make sure that you're eligible. But we know that you're here to really prepare for the recertification exam and that the training starts now, but that you may want to study up before actually heading to the exam component. So we have a few handouts for you. In order to download the handouts, visit the handouts panel, select view, and then the handout will automatically start downloading in a new window. You can select the downloaded file to either open it or save it. Now, what those handouts are. Handout 1 is a PDF version of the slide deck. So everything you're seeing presented today, you will have as reference. Product updates included in recertification are those that are the most critical to ensuring the best client services. But we know that many of you want that bird's eye view over all of the different updates that have been pushed live over this 12-month window. So the second handout is a comprehensive list of all of the product changes across the QuickBooks Online ecosystem. So you're really here to prepare for the recertification training, and the person who's here to deliver that training is my good friend, the incredible Carla Caldwell. Carla leads an accounting and advisory firm called Candela. She's been a trainer in the space for many, many years, and just recently she was recognized as one of Ignition's top 50 women in accounting. So Carla, thank you so much for being here. So excited to have you. So over to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It is such a pleasure to be with all of you today. And as a pro advisor like you, we need to be getting recertified this year. So let's talk about what we're going to be looking at over the next hour. We're going to be going through all kinds of new and enhanced features of QuickBooks Online, making sure we get the right fit for our clients. We'll be looking at chart of account templates, and we're going to be looking at updates to QuickBooks Time, QuickBooks Online Payroll, and QuickBooks Payments, as well as QuickBooks Bill Pay. So let's dive in. In this first lesson, we're going to be looking at how keeping up to date with the QuickBooks ecosystem will help you and your clients get the most out of QuickBooks Online. Specifically, we'll look at enhancements that will make things easier for you and your clients. We're going to start with a small change. Updates to the navigation that will make collaborating with your clients so much smoother. Then we're going to look at new widgets in the business overview dashboard that will give your clients more information about their business at a glance. We'll also look at updates to invoicing and reclassifying bank transactions that will help streamline your work and save you time. So first up, you've all seen some changes to the navigation menu. In the past, QuickBooks Online had 2 versions of its navigation menu. We had the business view and the accountant view. These have now been consolidated into one single navigation, so you and your clients can use the same view for easier collaboration. This update includes reordering the menu items and renaming others for clarity. For example, banking has changed to transactions to match what your clients see. So this may seem like such a simple change, but having a consolidated menu makes it so much easier when I'm working with my clients. It means we're using the same language when looking at QuickBooks Online. So when I'm troubleshooting with a client, I can easily tell them how to navigate to where they need to be in the system. It means that we're using the same wording, and it's like we're using the same map. And so it's easier to explain where the correct location is. It saves a lot of time and eliminates a lot of confusion. Next, let's take a look at an update that can help your clients gain a more detailed overview of their business. When talking to your clients about the state of their business, there are some new widgets available in their dashboard to provide a more visual overview of their business performance. These widgets can be added on your client's business overview dashboard or the new home dashboard that is being rolled out. Let's take a look at this inside of our sample company, which is Craig's Design and Landscaping. Here at the main dashboard, we can customize the layout by selecting Customize Layout. Then we can drag and drop these and rearrange these to suit our needs or the client's needs. Just like that, just dragging and dropping. We can also add or remove widgets. You'll notice that there are new ones here, including the mileage widget, which is great to keep our clients reminded that they should be tracking their mileage. We can also add widgets to the dashboard for things like invoices, as well for things like expenses. So those can be added as your client wants those to be able to see these very easily and understand what's going on in their business. Once you've organized all of these layouts and widgets to your heart's content, simply go to the top right corner and click Save. So now that we know we can customize our dashboard, we're also going to be customizing our invoices. They have a whole new look and feel. You'll see some changes are made here so that the layout is easier for your clients to see exactly what their customers are going to see. It also gives them access to the latest innovations and automation tools. So why don't you see it here? Let's pop back into Craig's Design and Landscape and see it there. We're back in Craig's Design and Landscape looking at the updates to the invoice. And you might be thinking this doesn't look updated. And you're right. In some of the QuickBooks Online Plus and Advanced subscriptions for your clients, you're going to need to select Update Layout like I'm going to right now. And it is going to update that layout. So don't panic. It's just going to refresh. And here you're going to see that they give you a little wizard to see what that's going to look like. But this is now the new layout. You're going to see that we have the ability to edit this, look at a preview of what it would look like for an email, a PDF, or even the payer view, so your customer's view when they receive this. Now, what we're able to do here that's very different is you are able to go in and take a look at a customer, and we can go ahead and do that and select a customer. If the billing or shipping address for an invoice was different than the one on record, previously we had to go and interrupt our workflow, go edit that on the customer information page. But now if I need to, I can simply edit the customer and it pops up over here on the right side and I can make whatever changes I need to without leaving this workflow. I don't have any changes to make, so I'm just going to close it. Now, I also have the ability to go up here to the manage icon, the cog icon right here. And I have the ability to do additional changes to the look and feel of the invoice or organize even how it shows up. Now, we could spend all day making all kinds of changes, but I know you're going to want to play with this on your own after our session. So bear with me. I'm not going to go through all of those right now.
Carla, as that's pulling up, question for you. Where can folks access Craig's Landscaping?
Such a good question, Jacqueline. Accessing Craig's Design and Landscape, which is our sample company, you can do that as a pro advisor inside of QuickBooks Online Accountant. So when you first log into QBOA, go to where you see all of your client list. In the very top right corner, there's a gear icon. Select that, and then you go to the sample company. Now that sample company is in QuickBooks Online Plus, so you can play around with that and do whatever you need to do to test things out. If you want a sample company that's QuickBooks Online Advanced specifically, start another browser and Google it. There is already a demo ready to go for you, and it'll be specific for QuickBooks Online Advanced. I love our sample companies and tinkering around in there to test out layouts and transactions. Tons of fun and super helpful to be able to have those kind of sandboxes that we get to work in.
Awesome. Thank you for the pro tip.
Of course. And this is a company, a blank invoice that we're working in here, but I want to show you how to pull up one that already exists. You probably remember in the old layout, we had a rewind button in the top right corner. We still have that in the new layout. And if I select that, I can pull up a previously entered transaction inside of QuickBooks Online. And so we have an invoice right here that's already filled out and ready to go. So a couple things about this new layout. You're going to notice that we have the ability to edit the invoice. That's where we're adding transactions or lines to it, items on it, all those types of things. But we also can view this in an email view, PDF view, or payer view. And that is really helpful so we can actually see what it's going to look like. So WYSIWYG, if you will, what you see is what you get when you see those views there. We have the ability to edit the customer. Now, previously, if we had any editing to do of a customer, if their shipping address needed to be different or something like that, we usually had to go out of this workflow and go pull up the customer. Now, when we select Edit Customer, you're going to see that it slides open on the right side and we can make whatever edits we need to right here without leaving this screen. Super helpful and efficient for us and our customers as they're entering in invoices in this new layout. We also have a cog or a gear icon called Manage, and this allows us to do all types of changes to the invoice on the fly. There's design invoices and automation and reports and all types of things. This is a great time to go into the sample company and play around with this because we could spend all kinds of time in here doing this, but I know you'll find that really valuable. Just simply select that Manage Gear icon and it'll hide that section back away again. Now, just like we had in our old invoices, there were things that we could see about when an invoice was emailed to a customer and opened and they could pay it and deposit it and all of that type of thing. We would see that here. But you're also going to notice that on the left side, there are some boxes that are over here that tell us about payment information. You'll notice that we have information we can give to our customers. We also have internal notes that are hidden that are only visible internally to this QuickBooks Online file, which I love. We also have memos that can go on the statement and not the invoice. So this customized layout is not just a new look and feel, but there's also a few new features thrown in, which I really like a lot.
Carla, how do those features enable you to deliver better advisory services to your clients to make sure that they're getting paid on time?
Well, my favorite part is being able to connect QuickBooks Online payments. I absolutely love this because what we're doing is we're helping our customers with their cash flow in very practical ways. Not just you need to collect from your customer, but now we're going to show them how they can do that faster because we can activate QuickBooks Online payments and the customer can now immediately pay. And what we're finding is that people are getting paid faster when QuickBooks Online payments are activated. Promise you, this is what we do with our customers and it makes all the difference for them. So I encourage you to explore that so that your customers' cash flow is improving immediately by getting paid faster. Another update that could save you and your clients time is the batch reclassify feature for bank transactions. This is specifically inside banking. So instead of having to open up each individual transaction one at a time to change it manually, or with our tool, we can go do that within the transactions. Here we can go in and edit an entire batch of transactions like expenses or deposits. Okay, time for our first poll. Your client has told you that they would find it really useful to have an easy way of seeing how much money they owe their vendors. How would you set up the accounts payable widget to show them this? Option A, from the home or business overview dashboard, select customize layout and then add remove. B, select transactions, then bank transactions and add widget. C, select sales and then invoices. Or D, select reports and custom reports.
All right, so you have 60 seconds to answer the poll. And as a friendly reminder, you should answer at least 3 polls to qualify for the CPE credit. Carla, curious, is there a way that you and your team go about doing this? Or do you have a different way per client?
Well, it is different per client, but I almost got teared up reading this. Just the fact that a client wants to know this information, I already feel like is a win. So I would be thrilled to have this question from our clients. But knowing that we have widgets able to show this to our clients really easily is so helpful for them because most of our clients just need it at a glance. They don't want to have to dig for information. So this really does make it a lot easier for them to access it so easily.
All right. Well, sounds like it's a great client to have if they're staying on top of their money movement. And with that, that brings our 60 seconds to a close. So Carla, over to you to share the correct answer.
So for all of you that answered option A, you are correct. You and your clients can now customize the layout of their dashboard, including which widgets they see by selecting Customize and then Add Remove. Customizing the business overview or home dashboard and adding new widgets, including accounts payable and accounts receivable widgets. And the updated invoicing layout that enables you and your clients to preview what the customer will see and customize what appears on the invoice and how it looks, and even include some notes that the customer doesn't see. You should now be in the know about the updated navigation menu where language has been unified between your view and our client's views, providing a shared experience. And customizing the business overview and home dashboard, adding new widgets, including widgets about accounts payable and accounts receivable. And the updated invoicing layout that enables you and your clients to preview what a customer will see, customize what appears on the invoice and how it looks, and even have a few things that the customer doesn't see.
And with that, we've wrapped lesson 1 and we can move right into lesson 2, which is all about getting the right fit for your clients.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Let's dive into QuickBooks Ledger, QuickBooks Solopreneur, and finally, we're going to talk about how primary admins can update apps. As an accounting professional, our clients look to us for guidance on the right tech stack to meet their needs. Keeping up to date with the latest changes in the QuickBooks ecosystem will help you achieve this. You're probably used to seeing the Add Client workflow that's been improved to streamline the process of choosing the solution that's right for your client. In the new multi-step process, you can see more insight about each solution, apply accountant-exclusive pricing, and access more options than before, such as the new accountant-exclusive QuickBooks Ledger, QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Online Payroll, and QuickBooks Payments. We're going to take a look at QuickBooks Ledger in this lesson, as well as another new product release for one-person businesses called QuickBooks Solopreneur. QuickBooks Ledger is a QuickBooks Online plan designed specifically for accountants. It sits just before Simple Start on the product lineup and is maintaining a streamlined set of features focused on the tasks needed for year-end for those tax-only clients and the low-volume transaction clients. It's only $10 a month per subscription. And with that, QuickBooks Ledger enables you to customize the chart of accounts for a client, bring in transactions by journal entry, uploads, or a connected bank feed. You can add vendors and contractors and track and file 1099s, although of course additional fees apply, you know the rules there. And review reports such as balance sheets, trial balances, and profit and loss statements. And yes, also prepare for tax filings. So you might be asking yourself, what clients and industries is this best for? Well, really, I find that any client that's an after-the-fact client where you're just receiving their information after the year is over, or a basic write-up client, if you do just tax for a client or are preparing their books just for the tax return. Sometimes you'll have a multi-entity client that has several different operating entities and holding companies, and even some high net worth individuals that you are using this product for. There are some industry verticals that are a really good fit for QuickBooks Ledger as well, and this allows us to use them when they have minimal or infrequent transactions. Real estate clients like a property management client, a trust and estate, oil and gas, and even investment or private equity firms. Now that you know what QuickBooks Ledger is, I bet your wheels are spinning. You know who it's best for, and you probably already have some clients in mind. You can add your clients to QuickBooks Ledger through QuickBooks Online Accountant. Simply go inside of QBOA like you normally would and click Add Client, and then you're going to see Ledger listed there with the other types of QuickBooks Online subscriptions. You'll be able to add QuickBooks Payroll or QuickBooks Time if those are relevant for that client. If you want your client to be able to access QuickBooks Ledger, leave off the option, like don't check the option that says make me the primary admin. We don't want to check that box, so then we can allow the client to be the admin and they'll be able to access their QuickBooks Ledger subscription if you want them to. QuickBooks Ledger was designed so that you could work with your tax-only and low-volume transaction clients in the same way you do with your clients in Simple Start, Essentials, Plus, or even Advanced clients. The great thing is that it's listed right there with all your other clients on the client list, and you can access their accounts by simply selecting the little globe, the little QuickBooks logo right by their name, or using the Go to QuickBooks menu and access those clients, just like you do with every other type of client. Now, as I have mentioned probably a half a dozen times already, it is only available for accountants to set up. Your clients cannot sign up for this on their own. If you make your client the primary admin, as I mentioned before, they will be able to sign in. They could connect their own bank feeds, review transactions, and see reports in there as well. Some of you may be wondering, well, what do we do if they outgrow QuickBooks Ledger? Maybe it's no longer just that one property and they decide to do something else with the business. Not a problem. You can simply upgrade those clients to another plan. So you can go from Ledger to Simple Start to Essentials or straight up to QuickBooks Online Plus or Advanced, either which way that they need to manage their business. Now, I have to admit, this is a game changer for our firm. Before this, we often would take a cash basis or tax-only client that has multiple entities, and we would do a lot of different things to make this work for the client. And those workarounds usually took more out of us than it did the client. We were spending our time doing a lot of different work. Now what we're able to do is to have all of our clients in one solution. We don't have to train teams on several different products. They're all going to be in QuickBooks Online. So that alone is a really big deal. But let's take the example of a write-up client. We've all been there. Tax season comes around and we have a shoebox being delivered with all the receipts and the bank statements and all of that information that has to manually be entered in. Now we can set up a client in QuickBooks Ledger and get those bank feeds started. And maybe there's a downtime of the year over the summer. Somebody can actually get 6 months worth of transactions coded immediately, and it's not all waiting on someone's desk to be manually entered in the middle of tax season. So this is really going to make things a lot smoother for us. And for those clients with multiple entities, here's a little tip for you. We have one that has one super busy client and they're in QuickBooks Online Advanced. We can actually use spreadsheet sync across all the entities, even the ones in QuickBooks Ledger, and do consolidated views for them. This is a game changer for me and my firm, and I know it will be for you as well. Another new product from Intuit this year is QuickBooks Solopreneur. It is part of the QuickBooks Online product lineup, and it's really meant for a one-person business and is easy to use to organize their information and help them drive growth and really achieve financial stability. QuickBooks Online has included TurboTax in QuickBooks Solopreneur, designed specifically for Schedule C filers on their 1040s. And most commonly, those are for our solo practitioners and our Schedule C or sole member LLCs. So what does it contain? QuickBooks Solopreneur focuses on the features that a one-person business needs. So they need to be able to track their profitability. So their sales, their expenses, and of course, yes, their sales tax. They also need to be able to customize estimates and invoices, as well as accept payments. And they can even open up a business bank account that earns up to 5% in interest. Take a look at this QuickBooks Solopreneur dashboard and see how a small business owner is going to be able to view a very clear summary of their business. Right now, your clients will need to sign up for a subscription to QuickBooks Solopreneur themselves. There's just one plan, either monthly or annually. Your clients can use QuickBooks Solopreneur through the web or through the QuickBooks Online mobile app. The experiences are mostly equivalent. However, the web experience does contain some more features. Your clients using QuickBooks Solopreneur are going to see what looks like single entry bookkeeping to keep things simple for them. But don't worry, when we open QuickBooks Solopreneur through QuickBooks Online Accountant, we'll be able to use double entry accounting features. Don't worry. An additional update is currently being planned to allow our clients to upgrade from QuickBooks Solopreneur to other QuickBooks Online plans as their businesses grow.
Carla, it's so exciting to learn about these two new products, Ledger and Solopreneur. Could you give us a sense of how these fit within the overall lineup of Intuit products?
I'm so glad you asked that. Yes, let's start with QuickBooks Money. It's for small businesses that need money management features without bookkeeping. There's no subscription cost, but there is a small per transaction fee. QuickBooks Money customers now have access to QuickBooks Checking, which QuickBooks Online customers already had access to. They can also send pay-enabled invoices that offer automated sales tax calculations, automatic reminders, PayPal, and Venmo as payment options, and they can even get partial payments and use payment links. QuickBooks Money doesn't offer accountant read-only access or connect with QuickBooks Online. However, your clients using QuickBooks Money can easily upgrade to QuickBooks Online and move their QuickBooks Money banking and payment transaction history whenever they're ready. Then we move into QuickBooks Ledger. Again, it's designed for accounting professionals who are managing their clients' finances. We can set up a chart of accounts, and we can use this for our tax-only and low-volume transaction clients and any clients that have a non-operating entity or holding companies. You can give your clients direct access to their company file if you choose to. And remember, this is only $10 a month. QuickBooks Self-Employed is intended specifically for independent contractors and freelancers who file a Schedule C form with their 1040 at year end. This one's been around a while. You've probably seen this before. It also uses single entry accounting to keep things simple for our clients' use. It does not offer accountant access or connect with QuickBooks Online. And then we have the new QuickBooks Solopreneur, also designed for one-person businesses looking to organize and grow their business. But this one builds on the success of QuickBooks Self-Employed and offers easier setup, an improved transaction management experience, along with added flexibility and productivity tools. It presents single entry bookkeeping at the front end, but has double entry accounting behind the scenes ready for an accountant to use. And in the future, we're going to be able to access QuickBooks Solopreneur through QuickBooks Online Accountant and even be able to upgrade those from QuickBooks Solopreneur to other QBO subscriptions. I may not have mentioned it before, but the monthly plan is only $20 a month, and our clients sign up for this directly. So that's the new small business lineup for QuickBooks Online.
And Carla, have you had the chance at your firm to use Solopreneur with a client?
I have not. But what I'm finding is that there are some accounting firms that are really working with those micro businesses and those startups. This is going to be game changing for some of them. What I think we're also going to see, since this is such a brand new product, is that they're going to be coming to us soon after they outgrow this or as they're outgrowing it, and they're going to already be introduced to the workflows and the processes that QuickBooks Online has, and it's going to make it easier to transition them into one of the other subscription plans. So I can't wait to get my first client on this.
How would you compare and contrast Ledger with Solopreneur? When would a client be a better fit for Solopreneur versus Ledger, or vice versa?
I would expect that Solopreneur is somebody who thinks they can't afford their accountant just yet, and so they've decided to go ahead and get started. I expect that QuickBooks Ledger is somebody who is either not doing any bookkeeping and accounting, but the accountant is doing the write-up work after the fact so they can get the tax return done for them. Or there are a large client that has these little holding companies out there that they know need to be done, but they don't want to pay for a big subscription in QBO, and the accountant is tired of putting them in spreadsheets and dealing with that. So Ledger would really fill that gap.
So helpful. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's talk apps.
Let's talk apps. So the last update in this section that we're going to be looking at isn't really a new product, but it's an update to QuickBooks Online that's going to help us work with our clients manage the apps that are connected already to their QuickBooks Online files. Previously, primary admins could only view admin info for apps that were connected by other admins, but they couldn't disconnect them. This meant apps that were no longer used were still in the app's overview, taking away focus from apps that were still in use. So now primary admins have more access over all the apps. So to remove an unused or unwanted app, you go to the apps menu, locate the app you no longer need, select disconnect from the drop-down menu by admin info, And now they can focus on just the apps that they use, which is great. So our second poll of the day, which of these clients would be a good fit for QuickBooks Ledger? Option A, a holding company that owns several rental properties. Option B, an online shop that sells a variety of different products. Or C, a construction firm with several employees and 1099 contractors.
Carla, from previous conversation, I know that you work quite a bit with construction companies. So would love to hear from you if you've had the chance to use Ledger with a construction client or not quite yet.
I have. We have quite a few clients using Ledger. In fact, I have one that we literally just put 16 of their holding companies into. They're really low volume transactions. And they're not necessarily construction clients per se. They're usually property management clients, but they're in that industry and that vertical, if you will. And so they use those a lot for holding those properties and collecting the small rent that might need to happen. We've also seen this used with other types of businesses that just have a really small amount of transactions. It could be a company that is, maybe we get them as a client and they're already kind of winding down. And so we would put them in Ledger, and then when they're completely finished, then that would be it. But then they're in a small subscription level of QuickBooks Online, and then we have all of their clients in QBO.
Awesome. That brings us to the end of the 60 seconds for the second poll in the session. Carla, mind sharing the answer?
Yes, I kind of already spilled the beans as we were talking. It is option A. That is going to be a holding company that has a low volume of transactions, monthly income from a rental or occasional expenses for maintenance. This is a great fit for QuickBooks Ledger. So now you should be in the know about QuickBooks Ledger, which is the accountants only QBO plan, ideal for your year-end, tax-only clients, and those with a low transaction volume. You know how to add QuickBooks Ledger through your usual add client workflow in QuickBooks Online Accountant. You've also learned about QuickBooks Solopreneur, a new product designed to be an affordable tool for a single person business that they start the subscription themselves. And last, about how primary admins can now remove unused and unwanted apps from their QuickBooks Online subscriptions.
Well, that's a wrap on lesson 2, which was all about finding that right fit for your clients. So we'll go ahead and move into lesson 3, which is about chart of account templates, a subject that I know Carla's particularly excited about.
This is really exciting because this is going to allow us to have a way to identify chart of accounts, maybe by client or by industry. And this is going to help us with a really time-consuming process. So here we're going to see how to create a template by modifying the pre-made templates or start from scratch with the chart of accounts, and apply a template to a client's account, as well as edit a template after it's been applied. The chart of accounts templates can be accessed by signing into QuickBooks Online Accountant and then selecting Accountant Tools and COA templates. Let's go take a look. So here we are in a company, and we've accessed from the Accountant Tools our chart of account templates. And here we are. We can add a new template, or we can import a template. If we have one already in a CSV or a spreadsheet file that has it, we can simply get started. Now, remember, no one knows your clients or your business like you do. So you're going to know what chart of accounts template is right for you. You're going to see that we can create a template from a product-based business or a service-based business, or we're going to select one where we create the template completely from scratch. I'll click Next, and you'll see that the first thing we're able to do is to put in a template name. Now, I happen to have a franchise that we work with, and I can type in franchise as that template name. I can even choose to add account numbers or not, depending on how you want to have that set up. And then I can go and start giving each account name to the account. So I can put in a checking and decide the account type that it's going to be, just like you would as you're setting up a chart of accounts, including the account type, the detail type, and you can even add a new sub-account if you need to as well. If you totally mess it up, of course, there's a little trash can, and of course, we have the ability to copy some as well. That can make it easy to duplicate accounts as we're getting started. When you're doing this, you can go through and add in fixed assets, credit cards, accounts receivable, all the various types of things that you need to create that customized chart of accounts for your client. Now, if we wanted to, instead of creating this from scratch, we can go back and select one as the product-based business as an example and select next. This is the template for the product-based businesses. Now, you can go in and add new accounts as needed to customize even this template for you and how you want to use this in your business with your specific clients and what their needs are. Once you have made any modifications that you need for this particular template, simply save it and you're good to go. Now, one other thing that's really important to note, accounts that are created from the template don't apply to usage limits. How great is that? That's awesome.
Carla, as you're closing out the demo company, tell me more about how the chart of accounts templates helped your team accelerate client onboarding.
Thanks, Jacqueline. It's actually a game changer. We do work with a franchise, and when we are working with them, they have a prescribed chart of accounts. So as soon as they log into QuickBooks Online, their chart of accounts is already set up, ready for them to go. And it just avoids the client feeling overwhelmed by what to do. And it also makes a great first impression as they get started working in QuickBooks Online. Now, remember, when you make any changes to templates that you create, they're going to be available for use by all your colleagues using the same QuickBooks Online firm instance. So in other words, when I create a new template, my whole team has access to it. This is so wonderful to speed up the process for our whole team. So let's dig into the details of using these templates. First of all, how do you apply the template? From your list of chart of accounts templates, find the template you want to use, and then you select Apply Template. You can then choose which client account you would like to add the template to by selecting them using the Select a Client dropdown and selecting Save. So what happens to existing accounts? When you apply a chart of account template to one of your clients' accounts, any accounts that already existed in their chart of accounts will remain. It's not going to delete any accounts that are already there. This will include any default accounts like accounts receivable and accounts payable. If the template you apply contains an account with the same name as an existing account, it will only create a duplicate if the type or detail type is different. In that case, the duplicate will appear with a -1 at the end of the account name. A duplicate wouldn't be created if an account in the template matches the name and number of an existing account, and the account and detail types match exactly, including the complete name and sub-account structure. So how do we maintain these templates? Well, once you've created them, you and your colleagues can continue to use them and add them to client accounts as you need. If you find that changes are needed or the template is no longer needed, then it's easy to update or remove the template. Use the Apply Template dropdown to edit, delete, or duplicate a template. Here's a tip for you. If you edit a template after applying it to client accounts, no changes will be made to the existing client accounts. If you need to apply the change to those accounts where you had already added it, you will need to go into that specific chart of accounts and make the changes. Also, if you make a change within a client account, it will not update back to the template that was used to set up the chart of account structure. Depending on who your clients are and the types of niche they might be or the types of clients they are, this could make a huge difference for your practice. If a lot of your clients are startups, then a standard chart of accounts like this is going to be wonderful. If it's a niche, like in my industry that I work with, this is game changing. Everywhere that we can save time as we're setting up a client, the better it is, because our clients get in faster, our work gets done faster, we're more efficient with the client, and it's easy for us as we're working with the similar chart of accounts across multiple clients. It makes it so much faster for us to be doing transactions with them and coding those to the same or similar chart of accounts all throughout all the various clients. I definitely counted this as a win when it was released.
Well, that brings us to the poll question of lesson 3. Carla, can you read it off?
I sure can. The chart of account templates can save a lot of time when setting up client accounts. Once you've created a template, how would you apply it to a client's account? A, go to the client's account, open the chart of accounts, and select Apply Template from Settings. Go to the Advanced tab of the client's account settings and select the template you want to apply. C, go to the Reports section of your client's account, select Chart of Account Templates, and choose the relevant template. Or D, find the template in the Chart of Account template list, select Apply Template, then select the relevant client.
So you have 60 seconds to answer. And as you're doing that, Carla, I'm curious, is there someone within your firm who sort of champions the chart of accounts templates and customizing them, or is this a shared responsibility amongst all teammates?
That's a really good question. Some of our clients are very creative with some interesting things that they do in their businesses. And we're finding that as technology affects our clients, it can appear in their chart of accounts sometimes. So we have different types of things that we need to do. And so instead of having one person that makes all the decisions, they maintain it, but we get input from the whole team as we're designing a template for our clients for their chart of accounts.
So that brings us to the end of our 60 seconds. Carla, can you read off the answer?
I sure can. It's letter D. That is how you are going to apply a chart of account template to a client's account through the chart of account templates list accessed through the Accountant Tools menu.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap up lesson 3.
Well, we should now be in the know about the chart of accounts templates and how they can save you and your firm time. So to create that template, you're going to the Accountant Tools, then selecting COA templates, chart of account templates, and adding a new template. New templates can be created by modifying the pre-made product and service-based business templates or by starting from scratch. To apply a template, find it in the list of chart of accounts templates, select Apply Template, choose the client from the drop-down, and select Save. And if you need to edit a template after it's been applied, it won't update any chart of accounts already created that we're using it.
That brings us to the end of lesson 3. We're already 50% of the way there with this session. So we'll move on to lesson 4, which is all about updates to QuickBooks Time and QuickBooks Online Payroll. Carla, take it away.
In this lesson, we're going to be talking about QuickBooks Time within QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Online Accountant, as well as the integrated setup of QuickBooks Time and QuickBooks Online Payroll, and how switching to QuickBooks Online Payroll just got easier. Previously, you and your clients needed to sign into QuickBooks Time separately to manage time tracking data. Moving between QuickBooks Time and QuickBooks Online took time. And so now more QuickBooks Time tasks are available in QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Online Accountant. When adding a new client, you can add QuickBooks Time when setting up a new QBO subscription. If you have clients who are already using QuickBooks Online but are not yet using QuickBooks Time, go to the gear icon and select Subscriptions and Billing, and then select Add QuickBooks Time from the Client Actions dropdown. Whether you add a standalone time subscription for your client or bundle it with other products, you can select Pro Advisor pricing or revenue share benefits. Once QuickBooks Time is set up, you and your clients can now access more features directly with QBO and QuickBooks Online Accountant rather than signing into QuickBooks Time separately. Now with QuickBooks Time data accessible within QuickBooks Online, you're going to be able to manage timesheets, approve hours in a snap, and get valuable insights much faster. Go to the Time tab in the main navigation to see all the information you need. Because this functionality is now available in QuickBooks Online Accountant, QBOA, the QuickBooks Time Pro Portal and Manage Clients feature in QuickBooks Time have been discontinued. Another way of setting up QuickBooks Time alongside QuickBooks Payroll is through the new integrated setup experience. The setup tasks and workflows for QuickBooks Time are available in both Payroll Overview and Time Overview. Let's take a look at the Payroll Overview. As you can see, you can now set up time tracking at the same time as setting up payroll. The updated setup for QuickBooks Time guides you through these basics: customizing timesheet fields, enabling time tracking via mobile app or on-site kiosks, inviting team members to track time in the Workforce app, assigning permissions to edit timesheets, or setting up a tablet or computer-based kiosk for time tracking at a work location. You can also set up advanced tasks for QuickBooks Time, like assigning groups and managers for approving time, establishing break rules, and even assigning team members to customers, or set up geofencing for automated time tracking within a location. To customize additional settings, select Overview inside QuickBooks Time. These changes to QuickBooks Time and QuickBooks Online Payroll are really going to streamline processes and save accountants time. Depending on what you do for your clients, having QuickBooks Time available within QuickBooks Online eliminates data entry and makes it so much easier to receive information from the client. They no longer are needing to send that time manually. We can actually move people to QuickBooks Time and see that data in QuickBooks Online. Then it's really going to reduce the amount of data entry we do, and it is going to make a lot of people happy. Hey, speaking of making things easier, it's actually now a lot easier to switch to QuickBooks Online Payroll from other applications like Gusto or ADP or Paychex. During the onboarding process, you're going to be asked to select your prior payroll provider. And through a series of step-by-step instructions, you'll be guided through the process of downloading your old payroll reports and importing them into QuickBooks Online Payroll. So now we have another polling question. A client has asked how easy it would be to move their payroll over to QuickBooks Online Payroll from Gusto. How should you tell them that this process works? Here are your options. A, during the onboarding process, you'll be given step-by-step instructions showing you how to manually transfer data from Gusto to QuickBooks Online Payroll. Or B, during the onboarding process, you'll be asked who your previous provider was. Enter your old sign-in details and then automations will do the rest. Or C, when setting up QuickBooks Online Payroll, you'll be guided through the steps needed to download your data from Gusto and then upload it into QBO Payroll. Or D, you'll need to contact your previous provider for detailed instructions on how to transfer your data from that system to QuickBooks Online Payroll.
So you have 60 seconds to answer this poll question. And as you do that, Carla, we know that this is a very important time in the overall sort of client life cycle as they're migrating over data, especially something as precious as payroll data. So are there any pro tips that you might be able to offer about how your team handles this with care and that attention to detail that we know is so necessary at this stage?
Well, having done these before, where we've transferred a client over to QBO Payroll, we always tell our clients it's probably going to be longer than you think it is, although we know it's not going to be that long, but the client thinks it should be instantaneous. So we want to set expectations up front. We also want to give ourselves some lead time. And of course, as you might expect, we usually want to do this at the end of a quarter or the end of the year. But communication by far is the most important thing to do with our clients, helping them understand what to expect. Because when they think something is happening that they didn't expect, they think it's all falling apart. And so we want to make sure to communicate with them and help them understand that we've done this before, we've got them, and we're going to guide them through this entire process.
I love that. Communication's key always. So with that said, what's the answer to our poll question?
Well, the correct answer is C. It's now easy to import data from Gusto or ADP or Paychex in the step-by-step onboarding process. So we should now be in the know about accessing QuickBooks Time features within QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Online Accountant, as well as adding QuickBooks Time subscriptions through the Add Client process in QBOA, as well as during QuickBooks Online Payroll setup. And we can see that we can automate the process for switching to QuickBooks Online from other apps like ADP, Gusto, and Paychex.
Thanks, Carla. And that brings us to the end of lesson 4. We're on to lesson 5, which is all about updates to QuickBooks payments.
And I am a very big fan of this. So let's dive in and talk about how in this lesson, we're going to look at updates that make it easier for our clients to get a discounted QuickBooks payment subscription. Woohoo! We're also going to enable you to be proactive when your clients have QuickBooks payments exceptions. And we're going to start by looking at a change that has made setting up a discount for your clients on QuickBooks payments much easier. In the past, you had to actually call the QuickBooks sales team with your client on the line in order to get them a discount on their QuickBooks payment subscriptions. Now we can share that discount more efficiently by simply sharing a link with our clients. Go to the Benefits tab of the Pro Advisor page, scroll down to the Discounts for Your Clients section, and select Share Info by the QuickBooks Payments. Then you're going to be taken to the new QuickBooks Payments page. We're going to select Copy Page Link and share that with our clients. They will then be able to select Set Up Payments to set up their discounted QuickBooks Payments subscription. How easy is that? Now let's look at an update that's going to help us be more proactive with our clients with any QuickBooks payment exception cases that your clients experience. Previously, when your clients had an exception case, that means a chargeback or a risk hold, you may have only learned about it if your client told you or you saw it in the bank feed, and you really had no way of responding or tracking the status of the case. Now you have direct access to your client's open QuickBooks payment exception cases through the Resolution Center. There you're going to find information about what's happening with the transaction and what actions are needed to resolve it. Go to the gear icon or the settings cog and then select Resolution Center on the Tools column to see your client's open exception cases. Accessing the Resolution Center will help us to serve our clients so much better. It means that we can be proactive when our clients have these exception cases rather than assuming that they will tell us, because more often than not, they won't. It should also mean that we can help them resolve these even more quickly than before. Another way that we get to advise our clients and help them with their cash flow. Okay, another polling and review question. One of your clients is interested in a QuickBooks payment subscription. How do you enable them to get a discount on this subscription? A, set up a phone call with the sales team and your client. B, inform your client that they should look under subscriptions and billing in the settings or gear icon. C, ask your client to phone sales using your details as a reference to unlock the discount. Or D, go to the Benefits tab of the Pro Advisor page and scroll to the Discounts for Your Clients section and select Share Info by QuickBooks Payments.
So with this poll, as with all of them, you have 60 seconds to answer. And as you do that, Carla, you said earlier that you love payments, you're excited about it. Are there certain types of clients that this product is a good fit for?
Really just about anybody that's receiving credit card payments from their clients, unless they do e-commerce, because of course then it needs to happen at the storefront, which is their website. So for other clients though, being able to easily send out an invoice with payments enabled allows them to collect money faster from their clients. But what I really also like is that bringing in all those transactions, recording those payments, recording any fees, batching it together, and of course they auto match it now as well. The whole process just makes it so much easier.
I love that. Icing on the cake. Okay, speaking of the cake, Carla, what's our answer for this poll?
Okay, the answer is D. You go to the Benefits tab of the Pro Advisor page, go to Discounts for Your Clients section, and then select Share Info when you get down to QuickBooks Payments. So we are now in the know about providing our clients with a discount for their QuickBooks payroll subscription by sharing the payments page with them, as well as being able to access the Resolution Center from settings to view and track any QuickBooks payment exceptions that our clients might have.
That's a wrap on lesson 5. We're moving into our 6th and final lesson, which is introducing QuickBooks Bill Pay.
That was a quick one about all that we just talked about on QuickBooks Payments. And QuickBooks Bill Pay, though, as the last lesson, is super exciting. This is all about our clients being able to pay their vendors and their bills and keep their office running smoothly and keeping all of that on task. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about QuickBooks Bill Pay through QuickBooks Online Accountant or by your clients adding it themselves. We're going to talk about scheduling payments and tracking and canceling bills. QuickBooks Bill Pay makes it easy for clients to set up payments to their vendors. With QuickBooks Bill Pay, clients can streamline their accounts payable process by paying their bills from within QuickBooks Online. It also lets them schedule future payments so they don't have to run right up against those deadlines and hopefully avoid some late fees. Each time a client schedules a payment, they can choose the payment account and payment method. QuickBooks Bill Pay allows clients to easily send checks or ACH payments to vendors. Eligible QuickBooks Bill Pay clients can, for an additional fee, choose faster ACH payments. These payments can be scheduled as early as the next business day, excluding weekends and bank holidays. You know the drill. Now, these can be helpful when paying more pressing bills, since a standard ACH payment can take up to 3 days. So delivery times can vary to various third-party delays or risk reviews. And also, it's important to note that faster ACH payments don't count toward their allotted monthly ACH payments. Now, another benefit of Bill Pay is simplified vendor setup. If the vendor you're paying isn't already a QuickBooks Online customer, then you or your client can invite your vendors to the business network, where they can add their own payment information, saving you time and worry. You can invite vendors either when you're first entering their information as a new vendor, or when you are sending them a payment via QuickBooks Bill Pay. They're going to receive an email invitation asking them to sign up for QuickBooks Money, and it's going to have an account enabling them to provide their bank information to receive future QuickBooks bill payments via ACH bank transfer. Phew! Okay, so let's talk about who can use QuickBooks Bill Pay. It's available to clients using QuickBooks Online. They can begin the application process for your clients through QBOA, but please note, signing up for a QuickBooks Bill Pay account is subject to eligibility criteria, credit, and application approval. So what does it cost to use QuickBooks Bill Pay? Well, it's a monthly subscription-based service in addition to their QBO subscription. They can choose from 3 different subscription plans at different price points with different features: Basic, Premium, and Elite. We'll explore these plans and how much they cost in more detail later on in the lesson. As an accountant, you may have accountant-billed clients you would like to set up with QuickBooks Bill Pay. The good news is QuickBooks Bill Pay is also now available with Pro Advisor preferred pricing for your accountant-billed clients. I absolutely love this idea of QuickBooks Bill Pay. It is going to save us so much time working with clients that need to schedule bill payments. Or if we schedule bill payments on behalf of our clients, it's going to save us time when we do it.
That was a lot of great information. Carla, do you mind recapping from an accountant's perspective how QuickBooks Bill Pay helps save you and your team time?
Well, we're already in QuickBooks Online all the time for our clients, and having an easy, efficient way to pay our clients' bills for them or to see how they have scheduled that to be done is really going to make it a lot easier. And now we can help start that process right within QBOA. So it really helps us set this up even easier for our clients. So I absolutely love this. When QuickBooks Bill Pay was first launched, it was only available for clients to apply for directly. Now take a look at how you can add QuickBooks Bill Pay to your existing client subscription and see what discounts you can receive as an accountant. If you're going to be paying for your client subscription, you can begin to set it up through QBOA. Go to Settings, Subscription and Billing, and then Accountant Billed Subscriptions. Select the Client Actions drop-down menu and then Add Bill Pay. The next page will ask you to send an email to your client so they can enter their business information in their QuickBooks Online account to apply for Bill Pay. QuickBooks will send it to the email address on file for the primary admin. Check which email address they will send it to in the Manage Users page of the client's company. Your client will receive an email from an @intuit.com email address, and they're going to be asked to click on an Add Info link. Please be sure to let your client know this is coming so they can anticipate receiving it, because they are going to be entering in a lot of personal information and business information. On that QuickBooks Online page, they are going to be putting in their business name, business type, EIN, and the owner's personal information. They're also going to be asked to attach the bank account they would like the funds to be pulled from. When your client has completed this and their application has been approved, you are going to receive an email letting you know. In that email, you'll click on Select a Plan to choose a plan in QBOA and complete the subscription process. Now, today, you can't add a client billed customer into a Pro Advisor preferred pricing option. This is only available for accountant billed clients. However, you can recommend QuickBooks Bill Pay plans to them. Go to Settings, Subscription and Billing, and this time select Client Billed Subscriptions tab. You're going to select the Client Actions dropdown and then add Bill Pay. On this next page, you will see the different QuickBooks Bill Pay plans along with the promotions available to your client. Note, this plan will not have the Pro Advisor preferred pricing. Select a plan to recommend to your client. Then your client will receive an email identifying the plan you as their accounting professional recommended and a link to begin the application for a QuickBooks Bill Pay account within QuickBooks Online. Customers who pay for their QBO subscription directly can also apply for QuickBooks Bill Pay, either from the Bills tab in the Expenses Center or when they create a new bill or edit an existing one. To trigger the process from the Bills tab, they can go to the Unpaid tab and find a bill that needs paying. They can select Schedule a Payment from the Action column, and that triggers the application process. To trigger the process when creating a new bill, they can select Save and Schedule Payment once they have filled out the bill as usual. This option is also available when they open an existing bill to edit it. Both starting points take the client to a screen where they can choose the QuickBooks Bill Pay plan that suits their business needs and begin the application process. They will then need to add their business information, including business name, business type, EIN, owner's personal information, and bank account details, as we outlined earlier, and complete their application. They will be emailed once their application has been approved. There are 3 monthly subscription plans available for QuickBooks Bill Pay. All plans offer automated bill creation and auto-match transactions. The basic plan is a $0 subscription plan that offers 5 free ACH payments per month. The premium plan is the mid-tier bill pay plan at $15 a month, and it offers 40 free ACH payments per month and unlimited 1099 e-filing. The elite plan is the top tier plan at $90 a month that offers no fees for ACH payments, unlimited 1099 e-filing, role-based permissions, though it's not available to QuickBooks Simple Start customers, and bill approval workflows. Now, these prices are direct billed pricing, and you can read the fine print there about some of those details. But let's go look at some of the features in more detail. Under the basic and premium plans, there's a 50-cent charge for ACH payments over the monthly allotment. Under all plans, there's a $1.50 charge for check payments and a $10 charge for each of the faster ACH payments. As mentioned before, these faster ACH payments don't count against your allotted ACH per month with each plan. Limits may apply on the total number and amount of payments. In QuickBooks Bill Pay Premium and Elite plans, it includes unlimited 1099 MISC and 1099 NEC forms in QuickBooks. 1099 forms are e-filed only for the current filing year and for payments recorded in QuickBooks to your vendors or contractors. It excludes state filings, so please check with your state agency on any state filing requirements. If your clients have the Bill Pay Basic plan, 1099 e-filing services will be charged at the standard 1099 e-filing pricing. And if you choose the 1099 e-file service, Intuit will e-file your federal 1099 information with the IRS and then print and mail a copy directly to your vendors and contractors, excluding corrections. As part of the 1099 e-filing service, QuickBooks will also give your vendors and contractors online access to their 1099s. When a bill payment is made through QuickBooks Bill Pay, the Auto Match Transactions feature will automatically mark the bill as paid, meaning that you don't have to spend time doing this manually. Note, this feature only matches bank withdrawals with transactions processed through QuickBooks Bill Pay, and not all transactions are eligible. Once signed up, clients with a Bill Pay Elite subscription can set up bill-specific roles for their team. These roles allow clients to set permissions and control who can create, edit, and approve and pay bills. The 3 bill-specific roles are as follows. Bill approver. They can approve bills but can't pay or take any other actions related to bills. A bill clerk can view, add, and edit vendors and add bills and mark them as paid, but can't approve or pay bills. A bill payer can view and pay bills and edit vendor information, but can't take any other action related to bills. These roles are also available to clients signed up to QuickBooks Online Advanced. Now let's look at how bills are paid using QuickBooks Bill Pay. Whether you are an accounting professional or a client, you will need to log into the client's QuickBooks Online account to pay a bill on their behalf. When doing so, you represent and warrant that you are acting on behalf of your client and with their written consent. There are 2 options for doing this. Find the required bill by going to Expenses, then Bills, and opening the Unpaid tab. And then from the Action column, select Schedule Payment. Select Save and Schedule Payment when you enter a new bill transaction or edit an existing one. Either method will launch QuickBooks Bill Pay. To schedule a bill payment, you must specify which account or funding source to pay it from and, of course, who to send it to. When your client completed their business information during the application process, they would have linked a bank account. If they have previously verified this bank account, then this account will be an option when making their first bill payment. If they haven't completed verification, then you'll be asked to choose which bank account to use as the funding source for the bill payment. Note that you can connect a new bank account to QuickBooks Online from here. If this is the first time you're using this bank account with QuickBooks Bill Pay, you'll need to match it to the corresponding bank account in the chart of accounts. In the next section of the QuickBooks Bill Pay tool, you can choose whether to pay the bill by ACH transfer or paper check. If you select bank payment or ACH as the payment method, check that the vendor and their bank account details are correct. Select a withdrawal date for the bill amount to be taken from the chosen payment account or funding account and select Next. If you notice that the payment will be arriving late, eligible customers will have the option to select Faster ACH Payment for a fee. This option will allow the payment to be scheduled as early as the next business day, excluding weekends and bank holidays. It will usually be delivered within 1 business day, subject to third-party delays or risk reviews. If you are connected to this vendor via the QuickBooks Business Network, Bill Pay will deliver your payment directly to their preferred bank account. How great is that? If you select paper check as the payment method, check that the vendor and their postal or mailing address details are correct. Select a withdrawal date for the bill amount to be taken from the chosen payment account or funding account and select Next. If the payee signs up to QuickBooks Money before the check is sent, they may have the option to update the payment method from check to ACH, but your withdrawal date will not change. In the review and schedule stage, you get another chance to review the payment details to check they're correct. Here you can also add a note for the vendor. It's useful to include the invoice number or numbers so the vendor knows exactly what is being paid. If everything looks good, select Schedule Payment. Once you've scheduled your payment, you'll see a Payment Scheduled overview, which summarizes the transaction details. If everything looks good, select Done. That's it. The bill payment has now been scheduled. QuickBooks Online will send an email to the vendor at the email address you provided, notifying them that the client has scheduled their payment. This email specifies the payment details and includes any notes that were added. It's also possible to pay multiple vendors at one time. Select the bills you want to pay, then select Schedule Payments. Then select if you want to pay via check or ACH in the Deliver To column. If you're connected to a vendor through the QuickBooks Business Network, you will see Bank Payment via the network in this column. Next, you're going to choose a withdrawal date and select Continue. Finally, review your changes, then select Schedule Payments. Clients can view bills that they've paid using QuickBooks Bill Pay by going to Bills in the Expenses Center and selecting either the Paid tab or Show Bill Pay Payments from either the For Review, Unpaid, or Paid tab. Go to the Paid tab. Here, clients can view all the bills they've paid. Select Show Payments in the action column to see details of a payment. This displays more information about the payment, including the date, amount, payment account, payment method, and in this case, QuickBooks Bill Pay. Selecting Show Bill Pay Payments from either the For Review, Unpaid, or Paid tab opens the Bill Pay payment screen. This lists all the bills the client has paid and scheduled to pay using QuickBooks Bill Pay. For each bill, clients can see the payment status and payment due date. So what if a client needs to cancel a scheduled bill payment before the withdrawal date? They can do this by selecting Show Bill Pay Payments from any of the tabs in the Bills Center, select View Details in the action column. Then in the View Payment screen, scroll down to where it says, you can cancel this payment until, and then select Cancel this payment. In the confirmation pop-up, be sure to select Cancel Payment, and then you're going to get a confirmation that the payment has been canceled. The same procedure applies regardless of the payment method, ACH or check. Okay. Which of the following statements about QuickBooks Bill Pay are correct? Select all that apply, likely more than one that's correct. A, you can connect a new bank account to QuickBooks Online from the QuickBooks Bill Pay tool. B, you can configure QuickBooks Bill Pay to pay bills automatically when they're added to QBO. C, when you sign up for QuickBooks Bill Pay, you need to specify whether you want to pay bills by ACH transfer or paper check. D, when you use QuickBooks Bill Pay, you can choose whether to pay a bill by ACH transfer or paper check. Or E, the first time you use a bank account with QuickBooks Bill Pay, you need to match it to the corresponding bank or credit card account in the chart of accounts.
All right, so you know the drill at this point. You have 60 seconds to answer the poll question. And as you do that, Carla, similar to our previous conversation, curious to know from your point of view, which clients make the best fit for this product?
I mean, everybody's got to pay their bills, right? But some of our clients usually are maybe what we call a cash basis client, or they're paying through credit cards or ACH more often than not. But I really love this for the clients that are going into their bank and scheduling payments there. Our team does not need to have access to do that type of thing. I don't want them having access. So having clients that are doing online bill pay, super helpful for this tool for them, but really all the way on up with clients that are running full accounts payable, this is a phenomenal tool. So if the client doesn't pay everything by ACH or credit cards and debit cards, and they do online bill pay or want to do online bill pay, or they've been doing checks and we're kind of getting frustrated with that process, which we are, I want them using a tool just like this.
Sounds good. Well, that brings us to the end of the 60 seconds. So Carla, can you go ahead and share the answer?
I can. It's A, D, and E. You can connect a new bank account to QuickBooks Online from QuickBooks Bill Pay. And the first time you use a bank account with QuickBooks Bill Pay, you'll need to match it to the corresponding bank account in the chart of accounts. And you can choose whether to pay a bill by ACH transfer or paper check. So you should now be in the know about how QuickBooks Bill Pay can streamline your clients' processes for paying bills, specifically how to begin the application process for QuickBooks Bill Pay for your clients through QBOA, and how client billed customers can add it themselves. You can schedule a payment in the Unpaid tab in the Bills section. And finally, you can track and cancel scheduled bills by selecting Show Bill Pay Payments from any of the tabs in the Bills Center.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our 6 lessons. Carla, thank you so much for sharing all of your valuable insight and wisdom and for helping our pro advisors prepare for the recertification exam. Okay, so speaking of the recertification exam, you learned so much today. This is all in preparation for the core exam, and we know that if you're getting recertified on both core and advanced, that you should join us for session 2. So for core, we do have 2 handouts for you to reference as you prepare for the exam. The first handout is the slides and all of the speaker notes that Carla was referencing. So these make for great reference points as you're studying up. The second handout is a comprehensive overview of all of the features that have shipped from August of 2023 to mid-March of 2024. Many of these features will not be tested. So really, we just want you to have that bird's eye view with the second handout. To download these handouts, go ahead and select the View button right here. The handout will automatically start downloading into a new window, and then you can either open it or save it to your desktop. All right, so let's talk about the exam. In order to pass the exam, you will need a score of 80%. You'll have 3 attempts, and if you don't pass it within those 3 attempts, you will need a 10-day cool down period, if you will, to revisit the study materials before you're able to access it again. Super important. The deadline to complete the exam is 11:59 p.m. on June 30th, 2024. If you don't complete the recertification exam by the state, that means you'll lose your certification status and you'll need to take the entire certification exam again. So I highly recommend taking the recertification exam. At this point, you've made it through the training material. You are set up and ready for success. To get to the exam, go ahead and enter QuickBooks Online Accountant. You'll navigate to the Training Library tab, and you'll see it right there. And we do have a special treat for you for our early birds who are here on the training and then take and pass the recertification exam by May 31st. You will be entered a chance to win a $5,000 Airbnb voucher by simply passing the recertification exam by May 31st. And finally, we welcome your feedback. A great way to let us know how satisfied you are with this training is through providing a score on a scale of 1 to 10, letting us know how likely you are to recommend this training to a colleague. So again, you have 60 seconds to go ahead and give us a score of 1 through 10 to let us know how likely you are to recommend this training to a colleague.
I want to have that voucher.
You read my mind. I was just about to ask you, if you were to win the voucher, which I don't think you're going to since you are a trainer, but if you did, where would you go?
I think it's going to be somewhere very warm, and there's going to be a place where I can get sand between my toes. So I'm not that picky after that.
I love that. I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they ask almost every day if they can go to Hawaii. And I remind them that it is not a half-hour's drive. So if I got the Airbnb voucher, which I won't, I would likely take my family to Hawaii. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. And if you are in need of that CPE certificate, the CPE credit will be sent to you within 1 to 2 business days. So just keep your eye on your inbox for an intuit@theonlineexpo.com email. And in case it doesn't come your way, just keep your eye on your spam folder. Sometimes it winds up there. So with all of that said, thank you so much for being here today and for preparing with us. Carla, a big thanks to you for being our incredible trainer. If you're here for the core in preparation for that exam, you can go ahead, call it a wrap. Highly encourage you to take the exam now while it's all still fresh, or to just brush up on that handout. And if you're here for advanced, take a little breather and go ahead and meet us over on session 2, where you'll find both Carla and myself for our next session. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon.